It's easy to get so lost in our thoughts, constantly observing all the different options that we have. Should I go here? Should I do this? I have to do this, or I have to do this. The struggle with being a human being is the availability of awareness that we have. Because when you look at an animal living out in nature, or even our pets, they don't struggle with anxiety and they don't struggle with wondering what to do next. They just do. They just follow the program that's built into their biology, that's built into their level of awareness and consciousness. And because we as human beings have an entirely different level available to us, we can see more mentally, spiritually, emotionally. We can see the programs running before they ultimately act out through us. It can create a block. The awareness of the thought creates the block sometimes, because then it brings in new thoughts, new awareness, new options. And then we're constantly told that we're separate from how nature is. We're separate from the animals. We're separate from the mammals. We're separate from nature. We are the ones ultimately controlling what happens. Maybe all of this is true, but what I definitely know is true is that we are not separate from nature, and that something about our awareness and our thought process, this availability that we have to become aware of our options, is inherent in nature. It is built into nature. We evolved and grew as beings, physically and spiritually, to get to a point where we could notice the programs running in our mind. We could notice the things about our environment that we ultimately want to change, that we are not a victim to. And the reason why we can notice these things is so that we can take authentic, intentional action in the world, so that we can begin to manifest the desired changes that we want to see. Whereas animals just do as they do. They follow their instincts, they follow their programming, and there's no second thought about it. What's super important to me in my own life was recognizing how much I was meditating and sitting and observing my thoughts, and the amount that I was doing that wasn't lending itself to any meaningful change. And that I came here for a reason. I came here to the earth to be here during this time as a physical embodiment of myself for a reason. We all did. Everybody has a reason for coming here, and I believe it's the same reason. It's to grow and become more authentic, as I always talk about. But what's important is that we not only remember our spiritual selves, not only become more aware of our internal processing, our thoughts and our emotions, the spiritual life that is the reality within us, but that we keep a firm standing on the ground. Because we are equally here experiencing this physical life, as well as experiencing simultaneously a non-physical spiritual life. One doesn't outweigh the other, because they're not two different things. It's one thing. But so many of us today, especially people on a spiritual path, while living in this digital medium, while experiencing the internet and experiencing any type of information that we really want to experience, our mind starts to run because we have so many options available to us, right? There it is again, more options, more paths, more things available. And it can lead to decision fatigue. It can lead to lacking and a lack of trying. And this is why it's important that no matter how many options we have, ultimately to take a path, to follow a path. And no matter what happens, you can always follow a new path. You can go down a new path. And eventually, as you've exhausted all the paths, you can look back over your entire adventure, because as you're going, you're getting higher and higher and higher, and you can look back, look down over all the paths that you've taken, and you'll begin to notice the common threads and the common themes. And then you can begin to listen to your intuition, your true feelings, your true will. What do you really want to do? What do you really want? How do you really want to get there? Be grounded. Work that job. Stay in that relationship, or leave that relationship, or start that relationship. Make new friends, or get closer to the people that are in your life. Ultimately, there's no wrong way. The only way you can fail is by not making the choice at all. And ironically, even then, you still can't fail, because you have your entire life to begin. And as soon as you begin, it'll be the exact right moment. And then when you do begin, you realize that any moment that you chose to start was always the moment that you were going to start. And there was nothing you could do that would have changed that. And that your whole life has been preparing you for this moment. Be here. Be here now. Live this life with purpose, and understand that all of life is striving to grow, and it's a reflection of you striving to grow. And you didn't come here to forget this place and to forget that this is not real. You came here to be more authentic. You came here to be expansive and loving and joyful, because that's who you are. So do the thing. Get the girl, or let her go. Tell people what you think, or stop telling people what you think they want to hear. You catching what I'm saying? And then go outside and enjoy the birds.